Hello there, dreamers, and welcome back to Imagine with Royce. If you are new to my channel, hello and welcome. My name is Royce. I'm a painter, sculptor, and a collector. Today, we are going to be discussing how animatronics are dressed. All right, animatronic clothing. This is a fantastic discussion because it is so revolutionary and specific, but I cannot go any further without first and foremost giving homage and honor to basically the woman that invented this form of clothing, and that is Alice Davis. And I believe Mary Blair helped her a little bit, but it was mainly Alice who designed the 1964-65 World's Fair costumes. And she was the one that realized on Lincoln that clothing isn't as simplistic to an animatronic as it is to humans, right? I mean, even us, a shirt will fit different on everybody. It'll lay different. Everyone's shoulders are different. Everyone's arm length. So with animatronics, there is a lot of components to why a shirt needs to be bigger in some places and smaller in others. Let's first start out with the movement of an animatronic. So if we're talking an animatronic that has a lot of arm movement, these right here, there's a split in the plastic or the mold. So this has to be able to bend and not catch the fabric in this specific area of the elbow. So how do you do that? You give the fabric a lot of space and breathing room, but not so much to where it's obvious. So how do Imagineers get shirts on animatronics? It's really quite simple because animatronics obviously can't do this. They have a split right down the back, all the way down, and it is adhered with Velcro. So animatronic shirts have a split in the front just like this and a split in the back. So it comes in two separate pieces and then it is pieced together. The front obviously is given a little bit more attention to detail and fit and form than the back where it's just like a Velcro. Now, not all animatronics have a Velcro backing. Some of them, it's buttons and snaps. Others, it's zippers. So there are many ways that animatronics are dressed. The same thing goes with pants. Pants are, for the most part, two separate pieces of material for each leg, and then it is adhered and Velcroed right in the middle of, for lack of a better word, the crotch area. And it works really well. So that's how all the pirates are dressed. In terms of, let's say, It's a Small World, their costumes primarily come in one full piece. Now, of course, if they're wearing pants or some other sort of costume prop, it's going to be separate, but majority of them are in like dresses or really formal attire. So their dresses will come almost like you just buy at a store. It'll go all the way down the dress and then it'll connect all the way. So that's how Small World dolls are dressed, with Velcro. And then you have something that goes along with fur. I'm gonna do a video on fur all by itself, but when you fur, that's technically considered dressing at figure finishing. So we glue them with hot glue. We don't just use regular glue or, I don't know, Gorilla Glue or sticky glue. We use hot glue by a 3M gun, and it works really, really well. A lot of times it does, unfortunately, separate over time, but for the most part, that method has worked really, really well. And in terms of other sorts of animatronics that have an extensive amount of fur, like for instance, the Yeti from Expedition Everest, that animatronic has, instead of just being glued, he has snaps. He has built-in almost buttons and snaps that are in his mold shell, which was a really good idea. So kudos to Joe Brody for putting that in. And they snapped on the material. From what I know, that specific animatronic has never been refurred. They really wanted him to age really well, and since he is more or less out of the elements, he doesn't really need to be, and especially because he hasn't moved in years, there's really no need. Another really fun costume is hats. So hats are, of course, Velcroed to the dolls or sometimes pinned in. Even the dolls' wigs, such as, let's see, It's a Small World, it has a cap, almost like a helmet, that the yarn is sewed onto, and then the dolls have little strings of Velcro that are glued on, and then their wigs also have Velcro, and it's attached that way, so they can move any sort of way and the wig won't fall off. So that's another form of dressing. Other types of wigs can be glued on a little bit more specifically, and then we have to blend it in with makeup. So yes, sometimes there is actual makeup involved with animatronics. There's so much that goes into the finishing. Jewelry is another really fun way to dress up an animatronic. Not a ton of figures have jewelry. Most notably and most recently, Mama Odie, you see her jewelry on her wrist. It isn't like a gold bracelet. It is specifically designed for her and stuck onto her wrist and moves with her. Her actual necklaces, of course, are custom made, but they lay and they are glued specifically in place so that they don't move any sort of way that, you know, they don't want them to. In Pirates of the Caribbean, whenever I got to age a costume, I was really excited. So how do we age costumes for animatronics? Well, we would get oil, we would get burnt umber coloring and black, and we would just dilute it and put washes on the stains. So for instance, I remember specifically aging the pirate that is on the bridge in Pirates of the Caribbean, right when you go out of the auction scene. And he's the one in the yellow coat, and I had such a fun time with him. I was like, okay, where, and my art director said, where do men sweat? Make it dirty there. Where would a jacket get dirty over, you know, a specific amount of time? So I was like, okay, let me dirty around his neck. Let me dirty his elbows. Let me dirty under his armpits. Of course, you don't even really see that because you pass by and there's so much going on. But next time you are in Pirates, take a moment to admire those small details. I noted on this earlier, the majority of the shoes that are worn by animatronic figures are not real. They are custom made for that figure and then they just slip on. So, you know, animatronics really don't have feet, so it's gonna be a hollow shoe, but it works really well with just the illusion of life. But yeah, that is how animatronics are dressed. It's all about the Velcro, buttons, and zippers. So that was a good question. If you have any other comments or questions, let me know. Hit me up in the comment section below and I may answer it in an entire new video. Until next time, dreamers, always remember not only to follow your dreams, but to chase them. I'll catch you in the next one.
And now, you bilge rats, do I hear 6? Who makes it 6? I'm not sponging for rum. It be gold I'm after.
Hey there, you bilge rat.